This is going to be the practice solution for the name specialization problem proposed at the end of the strings and printf tutorial that was done previously in the same playlist. So the goal is to write a program that has a string for your first and last name, and then to print just your first name, and then print just your last name, print a version of your name with the whole first name capitalized, and print a version of your name with the last name capitalized. Print a version of your name with all the vowels capitalized. Print the length of your first name, last name, and full name. Print if your name starts and ends with the same letter. So I have my strings and printf package, so I'm going to right click, then do new Java class, and name it name specialization. And double click to hide that left pane, and then do public static void main string args. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a string for my full name. So I'm going to do string name equals Megan Avery. And now I want a string for just my first name. So string first name. And in order to calculate just my first name, I want to go from the front of the string to the first time a space occurs. So to do that, I'm going to create a variable before I calculate my first name called int space index. And it's going to be name.indexOf and then a space character. So now for my first name, I can do name.substring. The beginning index will be a 0, and the ending index is going to be space index. So now I want to get a variable for just my last name. So I'm going to do string last name is, so now I want to go from the space index plus 1 to the end of my string. So I can do name.substring space index plus 1 and then be done. Because remember, substring with just a single index will go from that index to the end of the string. And then with this 2-index version, remember that it's up to that index and not including it. So this won't include the space. So now I want to print, I'm going to want a version with the first name capitalized. So I'm going to go ahead and create a string for that. String first name capitalized is equal to first name dot to uppercase plus last name. And then I want a string with the last name capitalized. So string last name capitalized. And that's going to be first name plus last name dot to uppercase. So now I want name with all the vowels capitalized. And that one's going to be a couple more steps, and it's not a straightforward calculation, so I'm going to go ahead and make a method for capitalizing all the vowels in my name. So I'm going to do public string capitalize vowels. I'm going to take in string name. So first thing I want to do is replace all the lowercase a's with capital A's. So I'm going to do name equals name dot replace A with capital A. Now I want to replace all the E's with capital E's. So E with E. And now I want to replace I with I. And then replace O with capital O. And then finally U with capital U. And then return name. So in this case, we had to do name equals name.replace because none of this actually changes the string. Remember, it creates a new string and returns it. Okay, so now I can do string name with capitalized vowels equals capitalized vowels name. What's this error? Oh, forgot the static. Okay. And I'm also going to want to print the length of my first name, last name, and full name. And I can do that. I'm going to do those calculations just straight in my print statements. And now I want to see if my name starts and ends with the same letter. So that's going to be Boolean matching first letters. So that's going to be first name dot substring from 0 to 1 dot equals last name dot substring from 0 to 1. So what that's doing is getting just the first character, since this is begin index to end index, not including the end index. So it's just just the character, just the string that's at 0, that's one letter long for the first name, and then it's testing to see if it equals just the first letter of the last name. So now all my print statements. So I'm going to print just my first name. Then I'm going to print just my last name. Then I'm going to print my name with the first name capitalized. So first name capitalized plus first name capitalized. And then my last name capitalized, last name capitalized. And then the version with all the vowels capitalized. So system.out.println capitalized vowels plus name with capitalized vowels. And then I want to have the lengths of my first name, last name, and full name. So I'm going to do system.out.println first name length plus first name length. The length of my last name, system.out.println last name length, last name length. And then system.out.println full name length. And this is going to include the space between my name if I do just dot length. So I'm going to do dot length minus 1. So name dot length minus 1. And I got that error because it can't convert this, which is a string, to an int to do this subtraction. So I need to put that in parentheses. And finally, the printing if they begin and end with the same. So system.out.println both names same beginning. That's going to do matching first letters. And so now my program is complete, and I can do run. I'm going to choose name specialization, and it's loading. And there's the program. So we see a problem here. I forgot to put the space between my two names, so I'm going to go ahead and add that back in. So here, I'm going to do plus space last name plus space last name and rerun. But here's my program. My first name, my last name, a version with just my first name capitalized, a version with just my last name capitalized, one with all my vowels capitalized, the length of my first name, the length of my last name, the length of my full name, and my first name begins with an A, and my first name begins with an M, and my last name begins with an A, so they don't start with the same letter, and so this gave me false. And that's it. I hope that was helpful.